Welcome to Shadow Tale, where darkness breathes and every whisper hides a secret waiting to crawl into your mind. You're about to hear a story that feels too real, too close, like something that could be happening just outside your door right now. And by the time it ends, you might not want to be alone in the dark anymore. It started with a message that wasn't meant for me. At least that's what I told myself at first, because believing anything else would mean accepting that something out there knew my name, my routine, and the exact moment I would be too curious to ignore it. The message came at 2:17 a.m., the kind of time when your phone lighting up feels unnatural, like it's breaking some unspoken rule of the night. And when I opened it, there was no number, no name, just a blank sender and a single line of text that read, "You forgot to lock the back door." I remember laughing nervously, telling myself it was just spam. Maybe a prank, but something about it stuck with me, something cold and deliberate. And before I could stop myself, I got out of bed and walked down the hallway, each step feeling heavier than the last. Until I reached the kitchen and saw the back door, slightly open. Not wide enough to notice from a distance, just enough to let the night breathe inside. My chest tightened as I pushed it shut and locked it, my hands trembling more than I wanted to admit. And that's when my phone buzzed again. Another message. Too late. I froze right there, staring at the screen, my reflection faintly visible in the black background behind the words. For a moment, I thought I saw something move behind me, but when I turned around, the kitchen was empty. That's when the fear really began. Not the kind that makes you scream, but the kind that settles into your bones, slow and quiet. I didn't sleep that night, and when morning came, everything looked normal. Almost too normal, like the house was pretending nothing had happened. Until I noticed the muddy footprints on the kitchen floor, leading from the back door to the hallway, and then stopping abruptly. I cleaned them up without thinking, like erasing the evidence would erase the fear, but it didn't. It only made things worse. They weren't constant, not enough to make me call the police, but just frequent enough to remind me I wasn't alone. "Nice job cleaning. You missed a spot. Check under your bed." Each one felt like a test, like something was watching how I reacted, learning from me, adapting. I tried to ignore them, to go on with my life. But that became impossible when the messages started describing things I hadn't even done yet. "Don't forget your keys tomorrow. You'll take the long way home. You won't make it to the door in time." Until I got home that evening and felt it again, that same heavy silence, like the house was holding its breath. I fumbled with my keys, suddenly aware of how exposed I was standing there. And just as I turned the lock, my phone buzzed. "I told you." The door slammed open before I could react, knocking me backward, and for a split second I thought I saw someone inside, a shape moving too quickly. When I woke up, I was lying on the living room floor, the lights off, the house silent. Until I noticed the chair in the corner, slowly rocking back and forth. I didn't move, didn't even breathe, just watched it, waiting for it to stop. But it didn't. My phone buzzed again. "You're awake." I grabbed it, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped it, and typed back for the first time, "Who is this?" The reply came instantly. "I'm inside." Every shadow suddenly alive, every corner hiding something I couldn't see, and that's when I heard it. Footsteps, soft and deliberate. Coming from the hallway, I wanted to run, to scream, but my body wouldn't move, like I was frozen in place. Forced to listen as the footsteps got closer, slower, almost teasing, until they stopped right behind me. I could feel it then, the presence, the cold air brushing against the back of my neck. Just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, my phone buzzed again. "Don't turn around." I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to block it out. But the silence was worse than the sound. The chair stopped moving. The footsteps were gone. The presence vanished. I was alone again, or at least it felt that way. They became more personal, more invasive, like whatever was behind them was getting closer mentally, digging into my thoughts. You still think about that night. You never told anyone. You should have stayed. That last one hit me harder than the rest because it was something I had never said out loud. I tried to leave, to get out of the house, but every time I reached the door, my phone would buzz with another warning. You can't leave. I'll follow. This is your home now. I started noticing small changes, like objects moving on their own, reflections that didn't match my movements. So I started documenting everything, writing down every message, hoping to find a pattern. And then, one night, everything changed. The message came earlier than usual, at exactly midnight. Tonight you'll finally see me. I turned off all the lights and sat in the living room, waiting. My phone clutched tightly in my hand until I heard it again. The footsteps. They started in the hallway, slow and deliberate. But this time I didn't look away, I didn't close my eyes. I forced myself to face it. Slowly, something began to take shape in the darkness. Not a person, not exactly, but something vaguely human. Its outline shifting and flickering like a broken reflection. And as it became clearer, I felt my breath catch in my throat. It was me. Not exactly as I was, but as I could have been, face twisted into a distorted version of my own. My phone buzzed one last time. You left me behind. And in that moment I understood. This wasn't an intruder or a ghost. It was a part of me, something I had buried so deep I thought it was gone. The figure stepped closer, its movements unnatural, and as it reached out, I felt something pull at me mentally like it was trying to merge. The lights flickered, the room spinning, and for a brief moment everything went completely silent. And then, just as suddenly, it was over. I was alone again, sitting in the living room, the lights steady, the house quiet. I stayed there for a long time, waiting for something to happen. But eventually, I convinced myself it was over. But sometimes, late at night, I catch a glimpse of something in the corner of my eye. A movement that shouldn't be there. A reflection that lingers just a second too long, and my phone. It hasn't buzzed since that night, but I still keep it close. Because deep down, I know this isn't over, not really. Some doors, once opened, don't just let things in. They let things out.